y'all. I have our February piece here, and I'm going to take some pictures of it once I have it staged, but I thought, why not share some of the staging tips with you. This is not like a staging training necessarily. We'll do one of those at another time, but I wanted to quickly come in and show you this part of the project, show you the project itself, and what I'm going to do to quickly stage this. I'm going to turn this around and show you what's going on over here. I'm at the edge of the road. There's my car. I'm going to run over and grab the stuff that I have here. And I'll be coming back and forth a little bit, but these are 3 bottles from the Dollar Tree. So always remember, you're going to be doing things in threes. I'm going to put these over here with the project. And this was a last minute grab and go, so I grabbed just a few things out of the house, and I took this knife and cut up some weeds out of the yard, to tell you the truth. So let's see what we've got and what we'll have to work with. I just went around the yard to just whatever was still green. I'm going to turn this back around and grab that. And I'll show you from the selection process what we do here. So back around to the project. And what I wanted to do, it looks so small from up there, is go along with the lines of this fence row. So I've just got it sitting there. I have a little bit of an issue, so I'm going to tell you this ahead of time. There's what's called a runner that goes underneath a drawer, and that's what your drawer kind of slides in and out on, that keeps it in place. And in the moving process, somehow we lost the runner from under there. My husband's going to have to make a new one, but I had already broadcasted that I was going to do this tutorial or this video, so by golly, we're going to do it. So pay no attention to the fact that the drawer may not be sitting in there perfectly. Okay, one of the things, can you see this? One of the things when you're taking a good photograph or getting ready to do something for staging is taking advantage of the things that are already there. This is a magnolia tree, and where it's at when we get ready to take the photographs will frame our project. We'll be able to crop this later. Of course, it won't be this big, but look, when you're looking in your yard or wherever you're at to get ready to stage, look for something that could frame the piece from the outer edge. So that's what I've done with this magnolia tree, and adding interest with the fence row was my next part of the project. Now, trying to decide whether to put the piece up against the fence this way and take the picture, or whether to line it up equally, which is what I think is going to look best with the fence row, is what we'll go with. So I think that's going to be the direction. And if we were here, I have my light thing holding this, and it's not steady. If we were here, that would show the fence line behind it, and I think that will be a good interesting simple thing beside it, and you're picking up a little bit of the framing of these leaves. So I would probably, let's move it again. There's a good spot. Now that's going to have some leaves framing it. The fence row behind it, right there's a telephone thing. We're not wanting that, so we're going to turn this around and go from here. That's where I'm going to leave it at. Now I mentioned that you can y'all hear me? Somebody give me a heart or something if you can hear me when I'm walking farther away. Maybe since we're not taking the photo right now, I'll go ahead and bring you up a little closer to make sure that you can hear me at least while I'm talking and doing the closer things. Awesome, thank you, Shannon. I'm trying to get this light even. Okay, there's the rule of threes. That has to do with photography. It has to do with art. It has to do with near about everything you do. And I was trying to quickly grab some stuff out of the house. I wanted a little bit of color. Grabbed this pink flower. Not sure I'm going to use that. But for my rule of threes, I grabbed these 3 Dollar Tree bottles that I got for who knows what. I'm going to open them up and think about where I want these kind of tops to be, since they're stuck on them. And I think I'll put it coming off of this corner sort of this way. And I just cut a bunch of sticks. I cut a bunch of dang sticks out of the yard off of things, and I'm just going to start sticking them in the jars, and to try to get some height and some width for each of the pieces. There were 2 or 3 different kinds of shrubs and things like that. I'm going to bend this one and break it down a little to where it'll have something going down toward the table or the desk. This has a little bit of purple, a little bit more interest in it. I'm going to stick it right there, and then we need some height, and let's put a little of the color coming out of this one, and a little bit of the color leaning the other direction coming out of the back one. These are things that I learned in floral school, but they apply to everything sort of in the creative industry. This is called, we call it a Merkle bush. If you got fleas in your house, you can put these under all your furniture and it'll help get rid of them. But they have, at this time of the year, good bushy thick tops. So I can put them closer to what will be the focal point area of my vases. We're not wanting these things too full. But this will give them a little bit of fullness in the, down near the top of the vase, and that's where you want more of your focal area to be. So you don't have to go out and buy anything new. You don't have to, you know, go spend a lot of money on things to stage with. You can go pick weeds out of your yard and make it happen. Okay, we need a little bit more height in this one. And through here, this one a little bit more. Going right into the center. When you're working on the flower arrangements this way, or whatever you're going to put in the vase, have everything come in from the center of the vase. That's how you stay sort of concentrated on your focal point. We do want you to still be able to tell there's 3, so I'm going to move them apart a little bit. Okay. Do we need any more of this one? Maybe we can put it deep down in this one right here. Do we need any more height? I really don't believe we do, but I'm going to save this in case we decide to lay it down on the table. Okay. I have no idea what I might use this for, but it was laying on the porch, so it actually probably could go across the top of here. Couldn't find my scissors. I used the brisket knife. So we'll do a couple of different things. I'm going to move that pine thing over and put my knife here. Hopefully you won't be able to see all that stuff lined up on my fence. And I'm going to come down with this, you know, piece of dollar English ivy and come down in amongst my 3 jars here. You can bend it, twist it, do whatever you need to do to make it go around them and back out. And then I have this figure that one of my kids gave me. I'm going to sit it there, and that would be a first shot. I have this purple rosary. My husband's Catholic. I'm Baptist, but he's Catholic. And we got this actually at the Vatican when we went to Rome. And I was thinking it might look pretty because I was wanting to go with, you know, an heirloom idea with this piece. So I would stop right there at this point and get up close and get a picture of that, and that would be my staging. And the other option would be to remove all of those bottles off of there. Let me do that real quick. Put this stick off of a pine tree. Has a pine cone on it and a little bit of, I liked it because they were curved, pine needles down on the end. and just sort of have that curved around. Now that looks rustic, but if we were to say put in a little bit of, see if I can make it come in from behind, a little bit of roses in behind that, that sort of confuses you as to something soft and something rough. And you're still going to want, I would put my lady back in right there as my third thing of interest, and I may, just for the height, go right back in with just one of my vases. So that would be a second staging photograph. And I would just go from there, playing with these same materials. So sorry, my work is calling too. Anyway, think about what's on the ground. Before I got on the video with y'all, I ran down this fence line and got most of the branches. I see one back there, chunked them over the fence on the other side so they wouldn't be in my picture, and had my husband move the garbage cans, which are normally right there behind it, so they wouldn't be in the picture. And I'm staying far enough back to not get this telephone pole in the picture, even though we can edit. You know, you can try to get as much of that as you can out there. Even if I don't see the leaves, this little bit that we have showing here of the magnolia tree is enough to frame this. And having that fence row going straight down behind it, these leaves and then the road there, is enough to give interest to the piece, to where there's interest going all around, but obviously this is the focal point. So I hope that helped somebody. Now I'm going to stop and take some snapshots and do some staging, and I'll post the pictures later. Thank you, and I hope you're interested once I do close-ups of the details in taking the class. Thanks. Bye.